Greetings, campers. This little video lesson is going to be about some of the websites where you can get GIS data. Used to be in the old days, there was hardly anything available. You had to either go out and map it in the field, or you would digitize off paper maps. But there's just an abundance of data now. And so whenever you have a project, you're always trying to find existing data versus going out and collecting it, because that's the most expensive option, is to actually go in the field. So a couple I'm going to show you, and I don't try to remember the URLs for these. I will post them on Blackboard, but I just remember, I Googled this, and AGDC stands for the Alaska Geographic Data Committee. And if you just Google that, and the first thing that comes up, this is that website. Probably the most useful thing here is the data sets. And there's a variety of data sets available here, links to data sets available here. One that's very commonly used is the US Geodata for Alaska. That has the USGS topo map products on it. So if we click that, we can see DLGs. Those are digital line graphs. They're digitized line work from topo maps. We don't have an abundance of those in Alaska. DRGs are digital raster graphics. Those are scanned topo maps, and we have a lot at the 1 to 63, 360 scale, and we have some in populated areas at 1 to 25,000. And then we also have some 1 to 250,000. DEMs are digital elevation models, and we have some of those, not a lot of those at the lower level. So anyway, let's go look for DRG. So we say, oh, we're interested in 1 to 25,000. And so they've actually changed it a bit. It actually doesn't filter out the higher ones. I believe it used to. Anyway, we have to know which map we want. Suppose we want Anchorage. Well, the Anchorage 1 to 250,000 scale covers a very large area. They have kind of a general, general use one here, Anchorage and vicinity. But if we want specific 1 to 25,000 maps, we have to know which one we want. And so anyway, I'm going to say, well, I happen to know that I want Anchorage A8 Northwest. So metadata is available. If we click that, it actually comes right up. We can see spatial reference information, which we always care about. It's Universal Transverse Mercator, Zone 6, and the datum is North American datum of 1927, which of course is based on the Clark spheroid of 1866. That's not important, but the North American datum of 1927. This is NAD 27 UTM, and the distance units are meters. So that is important. Okay, so we'll go back here, and if we wanted that file, because that's a known type, it just opens right up. And it knows it's not that big. But if we want to save that, we could right-click and save link as. I think in Windows Internet Explorer, it's save target as, but same idea. So you can say save link as, and I'm going to save it in my downloads, and I'll just say, well, let's make a new folder for it. I'll just call it my data. You might want something a little more descriptive if you're doing this for real. So I save that, and you see the box come down here. That's a small file. The TIFF file is the big image file. TIFF stands for Tagged Image File Format, and it's about 4 megabytes. So I'll go ahead and click that, and because it's a big file, it knows, or it's set to, actually it sees it's the compressed file, and so it just says, oh, you want to download this. So it doesn't even try to open it on the fly. Now the TFW is the world file, and what that is a file that helps ArcGIS know where to locate this map so that it will line up with other data. And if we just click it, it's actually just a text file. And the layout's very simple. This first number, 2.54, is the size of the pixel. This is a raster file. This is the size of the pixel in units, so it's 2.54 meters. The second and third things were put in there for rotation terms, but they were never actually implemented in ArcGIS, so they're meaningless. Then the fourth thing is the size in the Y direction of the pixels, which in most cases the X and Y direction pixel size will be the same. And then finally, the coordinates in the system, the images spatial reference system, of the upper left-hand corner. So that's what's in a world file. Now that just opened. If I want to download that, I need to right-click and say Save Link As, and I don't want to change the name. I just want to put it there and save. And now, if I look in my downloads, I have, well, let's look at the date. My data, and I have 3 files here. Okay, now I'll note, or you'll note, that this one is a GZ file. And by the way, if you should always have your folder options set so that you see the extensions, that is the last characters after the period in a file name. By default, Windows turns most of them off. So if you want to make sure they're on, you can go to this Organize button and go to Folder and Search options, and then View, and right here, Hide Extensions for Known File Types. That's by default automatically turned on, and I'm going to turn that off. Mine was off. So it's just really helpful to know what those extensions are. So anyway, there we go. And now this GZ file, this is a compressed file. It's like a .zip file, but using a different method. And that's why we downloaded the 7-zip program earlier, because 7-zip knows how to uncompress that. So we just right-click on that file, and because I've installed 7-zip, that comes up in the menu, and I'll just say Extract here. And now there's the extracted file. You'll see that that's about 11 megabytes versus the 4 megabyte file we downloaded. So that's why they compress them, so that they're easier and faster to download. So that's that. And actually, we can even double click on the TIFF. Windows knows that as an image file type, and so it knows how to open that and look at it. But we'll want to do some different things when we bring that into ArcGIS. So that's a quick explanation of the AGDC website and how to download a DRG and uncompress it. Over and out.